Hi everyone, it's Sue here from Scrappy Doo Sue, doing another episode of the 50 prompt card collages that I've been doing. The 50 prompt cards are Marguerite Miller's prompt cards, and I have been picking them out at the end of every previous video so that I have the prompts for the next video. So I've been picking out 5 plus a bonus, and I'm using this spiral bound scrapbook book, and here are the ones I picked out last time. Oops, sorry, I'm just moving that. I'm just sorry to move you. I'm just moving that. I'm wondering if it's bright enough. I hope it is. So we're on week, well, it's episode 17. I'm not going to call it week. So what I picked out was one I put in myself, a water. Then there's a place, a repeating pattern, children's story illustration, colouring book page, and a map. So out of those, I'm going to discard the map, I think, and use these. So these are the items I found that we will incorporate. So in the walking magazine, I found this lovely magazine picture of waterfall there, which I think you can just see, so I quite like that. Let's see, what else have we got? Colouring book page. I've still got scraps from a colouring book page that I've already used, so we'll use that. Children's illustration. I've got a page was sent in some happy mail, and this is from a children's book, so we'll use some of that. And a repeating pattern, so I've got a piece of scrapbook paper here which has got dots on, they're all repeating. And a place, not sure which one of these to use. I think, as we've already got water, I think we'll take this one, which is out of the walking magazine, and this is just a shot of the Thames embankment in London, the River Thames there. So I thought that was quite a nice iconic picture with the oh, what do they call those big wheels, you know, the London wheel. I don't know what it's called actually. I'm sorry, I wouldn't go on it because I don't like heights. Well, I have been on it once, I tell a lie, but I was very nervous. Went on it with my husband. What I didn't like about it was you get on while it's still moving, but it moves very, very slowly. But you have to actually get into one of these little cabs here while it's still going round. I'm scared of heights, so I'm very nervous about doing anything like that. So it comes down to the ground and you get on down here while it's still moving. And once you get in, then it goes up obviously to the pinnacle there, and you get a lovely view of London and all the landmarks. But, well, it's very scary, in my opinion. It's very scary. I'm a bit of a coward. Anyway, those are the things we're going to use. So let's get started. So let's put the prompts over there, and see what we're going to do. So I thought that I will just going to tear this waterfall down. If I can, maybe I'll use the ruler to do it actually. I just want to sort of tear it down into a kind of a triangular piece like this, because I would quite like to put that. So I'm going to take that corner off, and maybe a little bit of this at the top. I quite like using all different things, you know, magazine pieces and scraps and all sorts. So I thought that would look nice there. And then we've got our repeating pattern, which could be kind of a background piece maybe, and our colouring book. So I thought we'd use this side here. Then we've got to choose something out of this children's illustration. So there's a shoe house there. Quite like, sorry, I keep touching the cord, the power cord for the mobile phone that I'm filming with. I apologise about that. So that would be quite nice. I think this little house here would be quite nice. So we're gonna have to go around that bit there. I'm just roughly cutting that out, just want to see what that looks like. That little house could look quite good. So we have our water, we have a colouring book page, our water, a children's story, repeating pattern, and a place. So the place, which I've put back over here, is this. So let's tear off the edges. Let's see how we can incorporate that. Hope everyone's doing okay. My weather here has been very up and down just lately. Don't know what yours has been like. Okay, so kind of thinking of something let's take that off. Maybe I might take that end off there, make it a bit narrower. Let's take a piece of this off. Let's fold that down there, like so. Just looking to see what else there is in this children's book. Character houses. Let's see. I don't know if I want that one there now. I think that's going to be too big. So let's go for something else off here. Let's go for let's try this piece here. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure about See, I like these, but my place is quite big, so I've got to work out where I can put everything. That might or might not fit in. Do that. So if we had that piece there and right, oh, I don't know now. And it's nothing, it's not actually enthusing me with much, really. Just take that fibrous white edge off. That's looking a bit better. It's going to be a bit higgledy-piggledy, I think. And gosh, it does look a bit odd, doesn't it? Okay, let's have a look. Let's see, maybe we'll cut that down and now what do I think of that if that's cut down quite like that? Okay, so I'm going to take that down, and I think that's how I want it. So let me look, see. Okay, so I'm going to get my glue book and glue stick and start sticking some bits down. I hope this is not too dark, this view. I didn't put the great big light on over my desk because it's very bright, and it's a very bright day, so, and the window's right to my right, it's in view, you know, and I've got a blind at the window and it's fully up, so the whole window's exposed. It should be bright enough, in my opinion. So where did I have that now? I've forgotten. Let's put it there and we'll build on that, I think. So I'm going to put that down there a minute. Take those off. They could go back in a different order, you don't know. I do sometimes have a habit of doing that, and I can't exactly remember how I had it. So kind of want that around about there. Let's have that way round. Okay. Now let's get this down. And kind of want that there a bit, like so. So I'm kind of building up layers. We've got a funny little house here. Let's put this down first. This London Eye, I think it's called. I think that's what it's called, that big wheel. It's like the big Ferris wheel, but only, yeah, it is like a Ferris wheel, isn't it? I think most big cities now have those all around the world. And I know I am glad that I went up once, but I definitely wouldn't necessarily do it again. I've done it once. Okay, so we've got our children's colour illustration, colouring book, repeating pattern, water, and our place, which is London, the Thames. Might cut this. It's going to lose one of its chimneys, but let's see. I quite like this shoe house, and I'm only cutting it out, basically, not spending a massive amount of time on it. I think that could be. Let's see, let's take the tree out. We could add the tree behind it, so it's sort of coming out there, I think. Like so. Now, what else do I want to put on there? See what I've got here. What bits have I got that I can... Put a bit of that greenery there. I quite like this with the ferns in it. And we could pop that under there as well, actually. I'm just going to glue the page. Okay. See if I've got anything else I want to put on it now. So once we've got our pieces, we can add what we like, really. So, got a lovely cormorant there, standing on these posts looking over the Thames with all the buildings and the London Eye in the background. So that's a nice picture, I think. So have I got anything else that I want to add? I'm just looking in my pot of bits and pieces. So odds and ends these are, really. And there's a nice like heron there. That would be quite nice because it would go quite nice with that cormorant. I think it's a heron. Always see herons at the side of water. So I'm just going to cut round him. They're very handsome birds, and when they fly, I don't know if you've seen one in full flight, they actually remind me of a pterodactyl. They look just like a small version of a pterodactyl, you know, the dinosaur birds called pterodactyls. They just have that very old look about them, and the way, the shape of them when they're in flight. So they don't fly too far usually, they just go fishing most of the time, fishing for their supper. I quite like to put him there looking over, so I'm going to do that. And stand him there. I think that's nice, finishes that off quite nicely, I think. So let's see if in my bag of bits that go with this scrapbook whether I've got any like label or anything, spare label or anything like that we can add some more interest on. It's a piece of decoupage paper there. I'd quite like to fill in that gap. Or we could put some washi on. don't think I'm going to look for a number. Oh, having said that, I've come across these. We put number 16 on that side. I could put number 17 on if I can find a decent 1 and a 7. Okay, let's go for this 7 here. And this number 1 here. Okay, and I might put them onto that decoupage piece. So I'm going to pop this down, this scrap of very thin decoupage paper. I do love decoupage papers. This is Tim Holtz one, actually, scrap of one of his rolls that you can buy. And there's our number 1. And there's our number 7 for week 17, or number 17 in that episode 17, whatever we want to call it. There we are. And I will just write on here as I normally do, so that if I'm ever looking back, I'll know. I'm going to write on here hashtag, and I do it on the spotty paper, 50 prompt cards week 17, let's call it. There, so that's my next episode. So there's a close-up there, quite simple really. Okay, so to recap, we had a place, so we've got the London Thames, a glimpse of the Thames River in London. Repeating pattern, there's some spotty paper. Water, I've got this lovely waterfall. Colouring book page, so I've got scraps of a colouring book page I've been using, and a children's story illustration. So I've got this lovely funny little house that came out of a book page from a children's storybook. So that's those. So now what we'll do, put those to one side, is we will pick out some for next week. We may go down to just picking out 2 or 3 and make it a bit difficult. Right, let's see, we've got to pick, we'll pick, I don't know. So let's change it up a bit. Let's just pick 5 things this week, and we have to use all of those. That's what I'm going to do. So I've got cough drop or gum wrapper. Gosh, that's going to be difficult. So don't really have either. Oh no, chocolate or candy wrapper. Oh. Trying to give up candy. I'm not doing too well on these. Clothing tag. That's 3. I'll just put those out. Those are the ones I've written myself, just to eke these out, because I found I was picking the same ones. I'm being a bit picky actually. I should just randomly pick one, shouldn't I, like I normally do. Well, the next one that falls out of this pack is going to be the one. Okay, it's got to fall out though, so it's not very easy to shuffle them. I'd never make a card person, would I? Well, normally they fall out quite easily. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm just going to pick a random one because that idea didn't work. And I'm just going to pick this one and hope. This is an old post-it note. I don't have any old post-it notes. Well, I just have unused ones. We'll just use one of those. So that's 4. And then we'll pick a random one out of these. Just give them a shuffle. I'm going to pick one out at random. Which one should we pick? This one. An underwater creature. So we had that the other day. Okay, well, we'll go with those. Right, so I'll put the band back round those and get these out for next time. So for next time, cough drop or gum wrapper, chocolate or candy wrapper, clothing tag, old post-it note and an underwater creature to top it off. That is going to be an unusual mix, isn't it? I'm going to have to try and find a chocolate wrapper or a cough sweet wrapper from somewhere. I don't know where. I'll have to buy some just to get a wrapper, I think. Okay, we'll put those there for next time. I'm going to, on that note, say goodbye, and I will see you next time. Okay, take care everyone. Bye.